Will Samvat 2082 be better than Samvat 2081?
First I have a difference of opinion with most people who are saying 2081 was a write-off year, was a disappointing year. It was actually a fine year. I think there's an artificial construct to look at the index from, say, April 1 to March 31st. I think it's the wrong way to look at it. Over the last 3-4 year period since the bull market has started, we've done exceptionally well. And I think we'll continue to do well. I see no reason to be pessimistic. And my suggestion to most investors or friends who ask me is to remain well invested in good quality companies.
Mr. Damani, what a pleasure to be speaking to you on this auspicious day on the Mahurat trading session. And once again, wish you a very happy Diwali. So what's interesting is that this bank trade, or rather, should I say, maybe finally the bank call seems to be working well because those numbers have been coming through in a steady fashion. There are massive deals happening. I mean, look what RBL Bank announced just a day back. What are your thoughts on the financial space at this point? And what would you advise investors? How should they go about looking at banks and financials?
I think there's, despite, the negativity around the tariffs, I think the Indian corporate India has climbed these walls of worry pretty successfully. I think the fact that India is a big domestic economy and it's doing well despite, obviously hit to sectors like textiles, gems, shrimp exports. I think it's a testament to how resilient the economy has become and how big and important the economy has become. And I think it's good that investors are not panicking and are staying invested. There might be some disappointment because returns have been lackluster, but I think that's missing the forest for the trees. I think just looking at it over a 1 year period makes you dissuaded from all the great things that happened in the last 3-4 years and will continue to happen over the next 2-3 years, Prashant, in my view. So I think this is the deal that happened is obviously very encouraging. It indicates a huge amount of money flow in India, and I think these deals will keep happening the next year in India.
Okay, that's interesting. So again, I mean, as investors, how should we understand this? And would you expect more deals in smaller private sector banks? And then does that make for a good investment case as this M&A action continues?
I'm not necessarily a banking expert, so I'm not really following that space very closely. But it would seem to me that there will be more deals coming through, yes.
Okay. Okay, so more deals coming, that is for sure. But, does it mean that really financials becomes the sector to watch then from that standpoint? I mean, I'm purely asking as investors, how should we look at the space?
Absolutely. With the economy growing, with GST cuts and with this big fill-up with interest rates that the RBI has given, that sector should do well. And if there's mergers and acquisition, that would add to the excitement of the sector, I think.
Right. No, absolutely. Mr. Damani, let me just now, in that sense, open it up a little bit, right? Let's talk about your ideas. Instead of asking you this or that, the themes, Mr. Damani, that you are bullish on from here on.
I think there are two sectors that we remain quite bullish on. The first theme, of course, the last 4 years have been led by the public sector stocks. And we continue to be bullish on that sector because what has happened for the first time after many, many years is that rather than private enterprise leading the sector up, it's government-owned capitalism, whether it's in America with Donald Trump directing investment, whether it's in China or whether it's in Japan. I think the government's capex is now leading edge of the boom in India, which has been true for the last 4 years. But I would say we shuffle the deck a little bit and move into new cards. So while defense and railways will probably continue to do fine, we are finding opportunities, say, in the shipbuilding sector, where the government has made very loud noises that India should be building more ships. That means capex, and that means a great boom ahead for the Indian shipbuilding industry. I think there's a lot of clamor for rare earths now in the world. Everyone has realized the importance of rare earths. So my feeling is that the government is going to direct a lot of capex in some PSUs to explore and process rare earths. So I would look at those companies who will benefit from that. And the one that I've been particularly bullish on is I feel that a lot of construction and infrastructure activity, we are living in Bombay and we're going through an infrastructure boom without even realizing it. The coastal road, the highway, Bombay has finally become a world-class city. I think the temptation to do that in Delhi is also very strong. So as I always said, Delhi was a city that was built horizontally, but the government is now determined to build it vertically. So there may be 120 government colonies out there that were built horizontally over many, many years, in fact, since independence. and now they will be broken down and built vertically. So that creates a huge opportunity in terms of infrastructure development, in terms of financing those projects. So I think that sector. So among the PSU sector, we are bullish on the overall sector. I think you look at shipbuilding, infrastructure, and look at rare earths. And other than that, I think the one that I've turned quite bullish on recently is the pharma sector. I think in the mid-cap pharma, particularly with the 2,000 to 10,000 crore space, I'm finding a lot of innovative companies that own proprietary technology, intellectual property, that are building vaccines, building out antibiotics, building out buying ANDAs. I think that we put a lot of fresh money into that. So I would suggest that if you want to look at Samvat to Samvat, but over a period of time, I think those two sectors will do well, Prashant.